Hey guys, here's an updaters for you. My first truck I ever bought brand new for someone else to drive. I'm talking about pickup trucks, not big rigs. And this is what I mean by drivers have no idea what happened. Front bumper got torn, plastics got ripped, and he has no idea. Whatever. It's part of the deal, man. Just part of the deal. Certain guys don't know what's going on. Anyways, this truck needs some love, boys. This truck needs a little bit of workings. But this truck has over 400,000, boys. Let me give you a rundown what has been done. And it's weird. Last year I made a video on this over 300,000, and I told you what was done. And the reason it was in here is because it needed work. This year it needed work. Actually, I just realized the guys already worked on it. Look at that, 411,797. She's breathing, boys. Same issue, man. These manifolds, they go out every 300,000-400,000. You're gonna put a manifold in it. Oh, last year it was an actuator. Now that I think about it, I remember that. Just over 300,000. Needed a turbo actuator. Oh, you really can't tell. It's buried in there. It has a brand new manifold. I thought it would stick out like a sore thumb, but I mean, you really can't tell it. And it's all in here. It's looking pretty, man. To my surprise, it's not dumping oil anywhere or anything fancy. So let me give you a rundown. 411,000. Round it off. 412,000. She breathing and living and kicking. The typical question: how's the front end? A set of upper and lower ball joints, and that's as much as the front end's been worked on. What about the frame? What about the body? What about the door panels that always fall off? Ford is a bunch of excuse me, Ford. Ram is a bunch of junk. Nah, dude, it's plastic. It's hanging in there, buddy. Ain't gonna do nothing. Ain't gonna happen. If I told you this truck had, and I mean, we got a new bumper, so after I put a new bumper on there, which is gonna get this week, and fix the tailgate. If I told you this truck had 200,000, you'd believe me. You wouldn't even bat an eye. As you can tell, seats. You know, guys spill oil or juice or whatever they spill here. You know, let me show you the other side. I mean, she's all together, guys. She's not beat to crap. She's, I mean, a little scuffs, but I mean, this is put a little bit of armor all on it, and she's done hers. What the frick is this, man? Yeah, anyways, so that's what she looks like. This truck needs a little bit of love with lug nuts and some nice wheels, and what I mean nice, some aluminum rims on her. Tailgate's a little beat. I'll show you what someone did. Hopefully I don't get too far off subject. Tailgate is a touchy subject around here. I always stress the boys, like, hey, if you're gonna get into that box, figure out your tailgate situation. Does it need to be open or closed? So if you're unhooking, open your tailgate, get in that box. You know, that kind of thing. This is another truck. Unhooked this trailer, then open his tailgate. Same exact story happened in that truck 3 years ago. Nothing more to it. Unhooked this trailer, then open his tailgate. Voila! Done deal. So going back to the subject of Ram, and no one sponsored me for nothing, okay? The Ram falls apart and everything. Guys, 400,000. That's how the door closed, okay? The front, the back. You're gonna say, Paul, well, they don't use these doors. They just go in there. You guys saw it. They rest in the back sometimes, but okay, let's go here. I honestly don't know why I'm doing this for you guys. So let's say they enter through here, okay? There's nothing to it. Nothing hanging, nothing sagging. I mean, I'm going really slow, guys. So click. Like, look at that. So, you body, guys. That's all there is to it. I mean, 400,000, yeah, she has wear, but man, does she make me happy. I love plastic when I need it, and I hate plastic when I don't. The seat. Look at the seat. Yeah, no one 400-pounder sat in here because I have a truck that I think the guy's close to 300 pounds and the seat's shot. It's not ripped, it's just the cushioning isn't there. Lighter fellas have been driving these trucks. The steering wheel, I mean, you could tell there's wear on it. It's not worn out. Like, the buttons are all original. Let me show you guys. I mean, you true enthusiasts. Let's not focus on haters here. Let's focus on enthusiasts. You guys will really appreciate a truck like this. I don't have the key on me. Let me see if it'll show the... Yeah, there you go. The mileage again. Look at that. 411, 797. That is beauty. So, oh, I was on to something. I completely missed it. I got carried away with these door panels falling off. People hating. You guys, no worries. Door panels aren't falling off. The ball joints, as I said. Let me finish my trip around this thing. And just, you know, pointing out things that people always bash on. I said front end, ball joints, door panels, they're not falling off. Doors aren't falling off. They're not rusting. Yeah, you take care of anything. It'll treat you well. Going around here, this thing had alloys on it. A combination, a couple geniuses. One driving, the other guy wrenching. Alloys had to go off and these had to be thrown on because they're already mounted. For the winter they work. There's not much left on them, but a little bit, maybe about a month. Go back around to the tailgate. You know, at Taiwan, the driver tried to save some money, and he saved himself money not going to the dealership. Got himself a Taiwan tailgate, rattle canned it, and that's what you get. I'll see if you guys got some time to throw a new bed on here and a new tailgate, just because I have access to them fairly on a good price. So get some alloys, freshen her up. As far as the rear end, I did put a diff cover like the dualies have, and airbags, save the suspension. These shocks are replaced. I bought a brand new truck, and for some reason the driver was complaining that the ride is unmanageable or some nonsense, and this was a fairly seasoned driver, and I wasn't gonna argue with him, man. I put some Bilstein shocks on his truck, grabbed those shocks, put them on here. No one's the wiser. But the original ones start leaking, I want to say about 300 and some change. They didn't just drop leak, you know, dump all the fluids out. You could see a little bit of sweating, and we got some shocks on hand, so we threw those on. So the shocks are not original, but for you boys hauling, what do you should expect? About 300,000 out of them. Leaf springs all original, bushings are original on the leaf springs. The rear diff hasn't been worked on, besides oil changes every 50,000 if they're lucky. No worse than 100. I just been going down to 50 on the rear diffs. Front end, both calipers I believe are changed out. For some reason they started leaking, or someone damaged them, or something happened. I know both calipers are changed out, and there's, what are they, $40-50 part. I talked about ball joints, uppers and lowers, both sides. I talked about calipers. Now let's talk about rotors. I'm very surprised how well these rotors last. For all the heat, and what I mean, they don't like warp. And yeah, those rotors, the original rotors are spendy, but they're some good stuff. I would not upgrade any rotors if y'all thinking about brakes and stuff like that. For towing, more than suffice, and you should be happy with them. What year is this truck? This is a 14. Now, what else was done? I know I'm missing something. I told you guys I did an EGR. No, not EGR. Turbo actuator. I know I did a turbo actuator. That's original, and then the EGR is original on it as well. So I did turbo actuator, just a hair over 300, and we just did a manifold. I wish I had a new and old one. I think they installed the last new one. We had it in stock. So they just shrank. That's it, man. If I can remember right, that's all we've done on this truck. Y'all could go blow up the comment section now that I'm lying through my teeth and all this and that. This truck does have an Aisin. If you guys watch my channel, you know that I only buy Aisins. I don't deal with Chrysler pile of junk. Don't even try it. Forget it, man. I mean, what I have to do, you know, hand them my trucks. I know my trucks get abused. So yeah, what has been a reoccurring issue on this? I don't know. Never had one. Thank God. Knock on wood and plastic and everything. God's been good to me on it. On a serious note, you know. Serious note, God has been treating me well, and people praying for me, I tell you that. Oil consumption. Oh man, this thing rattled. This thing rattled its way out. I'm gonna put a screw in there. Crazy. You know it got miles when bolts start rattling out. And for you haters, yeah, you'd be happy a bolt rattled out. That's the end of the world. It's a piece of junk, right? That's what you're gonna say. So anywho's, boys, I think more or less that's my review. Oh, I was gonna say oil consumption. As far as oil consumption, guys, not seeing anything crazy. Transmission, yeah, that's all there is to it, boys. That's all there is to it. May the Lord bless you. May y'all have a mighty fine day. As always, ciao, bye.